All right, I'm spooling it back up again. This is take number 2. Okay, it's saying that it's live again. It did this the first time though, so I'm gonna wait for a second. It's showing a good signal. YouTube, you see me this time? Take 2? We good? Yay? Okay. Welcome, YouTube. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. I'm not sure what happened. I clicked the button. It said it was good. I went back to the configuration to where I follow the chat instead of the stream. Thought it was fine. Apparently it wasn't, but we got you all straightened away. Thank you so much, everybody, for reporting that so everybody can enjoy the content. Woo! But welcome. I feel like, do I start over? No, surely we don't start over, but we do cover some things that you guys missed. Let's start from square one. Let's start from square one with a little bit of speed. All right, so this is the Vindicator, the Typhoon wings. New wings that were introduced to this particular class. I love these wings. They're probably my favorite ship wings. I love them so much. We also have a new body type for all heavies. It's this more recessed one. The cockpit is further back. And when you are in the cockpit view, you can of course see your ship outside of it. And we are in a new Zurilia location in the Drake system. Much like we did a ice world, then a fire world, and then we did an ice asteroid field. Now we're doing a fire asteroid field. So boom, 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 right? And we're fighting some Zurilia. We're talking about some changes to weapons. I'll also cover some other details that happened for combat mode. But first things first, this flak cannon, we were noticing a pretty distinct issue with it. So in short, flak cannon has a radius that it explodes at instead of having to hit the target directly. So like you can see here, I didn't hit the target, it just got close enough and then it exploded, right? And it deals damage to everything nearby. And that was actually killing a lot of players. Whenever you were too close to a target or a target would zip right in front of you, it was bad news bears. Also, Zurilia bombers, look, they have shields. But what we did is for the flak, now whenever you are within a certain range, the flak does not trigger its radial attack. So what that means is, if I'm shooting somebody and a drone goes flying by directly in front of my face and I shoot my flak, instead of it immediately exploding on the ship to hit the drone right there, it ignores that radial attack and it just fires off until it's at a certain range from the player ship before it can explode. Just a nice, simple tweak to the flak so it can't explode in your face. Now, that said, if you fire the flak directly at a target or an obstacle and it explodes and it's right in front of you, that will still damage you. Like, it will still explode if it comes into contact with something. It just won't trigger its radial attack. So, yeah. Smart munitions, yeah, basically. Effectively. Yep. Let's go get this wreckage. I want full drones. Excellent. We'll finish this Zurilia destroyer. Woo! We got him. Excellent. Oh, there's a lot of drones over here. Let's go mess around with these drones. Wow, there's a lot of drones over there. All right. Let's go there first. Maybe we'll get a good use of the flak cannon and showing you how we don't instantly die if we're too close. Wow, there's a lot of them over here. So yeah, this would be a really great example of how you could just like plaster yourself with the flak. Now, it's still possible that you can, because again, like, if you end up being too close to a target and it directly collides with them, it will still trigger and it will still damage you. Woo! My goodness. You hear those explosions? Yeah, you see that? See what this Zurilia bomber's doing? Ouch. So there was a really cool weapon that the bomber had in EVERSPACE 1. Ooh, we got hit by it. Ouch. Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Ouch, pain. That's a lot. Hang on a second. We need our drones back. That was painful. Fly, my lovelies. Woo! Woo-hoo. I'm gonna let this thing cool off for a second, and then we'll talk more about this bomber, if any survived. All right, our drones are back. Good. Oh, they've got fire support from this destroyer. Yikes. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can... Nope. There it is. All right, here we go. See this explosion right here? These are effectively cluster bombs. Cluster bombs. Somebody said fireworks. Okay. Yeah, it's low-grade fireworks. They're just happy that we're in combat with them. They're like, yay, let's fire off the fireworks, woo! No. These are cluster bombs. And this is unique to Zurilia. And you probably saw me get overheated super fast because what these do, they don't really do a lot of damage necessarily, but it heats you up fast. So I guess it's kind of like fireworks. Anyway, the point is that it's nasty, and it only happens behind them as they're flying away. Now, because we're in a Vindicator, you can also see that splash damage attack they're implementing kind of hurts our drones a little bit. So we have to be a bit more mindful about how we're approaching that. Oh my, level 24. Ooh, that's exciting. We have to be a little bit more mindful about that. Maybe. Possibly. As we're approaching our enemies in the space. Okay, let's see if we can show how this trigger doesn't trigger anymore. Yeah. Okay, so see how we're too close to the target, and so the flak disables itself from exploding in our face? Now that said, if I shoot directly at a target that's near me, it will still explode in my face. But otherwise, complete disabling of that automatic explosion. Pretty nice feature, honestly. And also for those of you who like flying light ships and using a flak, you will find yourself not insta-dying anymore. So much explosive sound going on. Excellent. Very good. I'm a little surprised that that went in my favor as well as it did. But you could see that there were a number of little tweaks and changes to a lot of what we're showing. I mean, even the sound of the thermogun, like I've shown you the tweaked sound effects, but it's been tweaked even further. It's probably not as distinct as it probably was prior, but there's some more subtleties to it. Sounds continue to get better and better. So, feeling good. Otherwise, we got these burning asteroids in the sky. Little explosions happening from them as well. But of course, we have resources to gather. Who doesn't want some resources? And a hidden stash to find in this location, right? Oh, Flying Dutchess beacon here. That's really convenient, I would say. Whew. And of course, you know, with any location that you are finding yourself in, we want to make sure that it's interesting and, you know, offers some challenges, stuff like this, that you'll be able to engage in. I didn't actually check these out, but I think these are fire bombs. Yeah, they overheat you instantaneously, much like we saw those ice bombs. So another impediment in your way that's all about fire, because, you know, the very large theme that we've got going on for Drake is this fire and ice sort of thing. So you're seeing a lot of that through basically every single faction engagement across the board, really. It's like, oh, it's Zurilia, it's fire. Oh, it's Retaliator, it's ice. Like, that's how things are going down. All right. Kazaa says, oops, I'm late. Hey, actually, so I made an oopsie. Apparently YouTube didn't get the video in time. So, yeah, it's okay. We have covered new ship parts real quick, at least for one ship. At least for one ship. There's another one I want to look at later. We talked about a little bit about combat mode. We engaged with a lot of Zurilia there. What YouTube did miss is we talked about the ramifications of combat mode and also the benefits of being out of it. So prior, super quick recap, okay? So prior, when you're just flying around no matter what, whenever you equip a new consumable, there's a 20-second timer. It's gone now. We removed it. You're welcome. Same thing with missiles. There'd be a 20-second timer. Nope, it's gone. See you later. However, when you are in combat, and you'll know you're in combat because the red lights, the top and bottom of the screen, right there. You see them now? See that combat? Oh, hello, Retaliator. Now when you cycle in, now there's a 20-second duration. So the difference is really, it's all about preparation, right? It's all about preparation. If you are exploring and you pick up something, you're like, nice, I want this, immediately plug it in, you start using it. No ramifications whatsoever. If you're in the middle of combat and you're like, oh man, I should change to that other thing, or I want to craft something and then plug it in, you're gonna have to wait. That being said, here's something new that we didn't talk about yet. The last stream, I had mentioned our desire, our being ROCKFISH, to remove crafting entirely from combat mode. We thought about this, and we decided against it. But I want to explain why. It's super easy logic. Let's just talk real quick. When you're crafting something, you're like, shoot, man, I really need that consumable. I need an energy shield on the fly, you know, whatever. Okay, so you can craft it on the fly. You've got them. All right, cool. And now you have to equip them. And guess what? If you're in combat, 20 seconds. So you can still craft. You can still craft when you're in combat, but there's still ramifications if you're trying to use it immediately, right? So that's the big trade-off. We're like, we don't need to double down on this. We're gonna allow crafting in the heat of combat. However, there are still ramifications for being in combat to equip. Last but not least, the weapons did get tweaked to where, you know, same thing on that front. Like if you were to craft a weapon, you plug it in. It doesn't look like there's any ramifications for plugging this in right now. Ooh, an Umbra? That's nice. It doesn't look like there's any ramifications. There may be a symbol that's plugged into this in the future. I don't know, because this doesn't matter if you're in combat or not. Anytime you equip a new weapon, anytime, it starts with 0 energy. So you have to equip the weapon to your ship for it to start charging up. That's it. That's it. That's the change. It's that simple. So again, what this means is you're outside of combat, you equip a new weapon. It's like you don't really even have to think about it. There's not really too much ramification because you don't have to use it immediately. But if you've got like a ship that has 2 weapon slots and you're like, oh man, I need to swap to a different weapon for this different enemy. There's a reason why we restricted a certain number of slots for weapons and secondaries and consumables. And it's because you have to utilize what you have there using other tools to mix and match. You can't just have a full cargo of weapons so that you basically have an infinite number of weapon slots that you can interchange at any time. Nope, you cannot do that. I was not in the design. So equipping a weapon, first you're going to need it to charge up before you can start utilizing it. It does not have to be active to start charging up. It just has to be equipped. So if you have 2 weapon slots, you plug in a new weapon, you just have to use the first weapon first while the second one charges up. Then you can use the second one once it's charged. Or partially charged. You can use it partially charged too. Retaliator, it's not your showcase today. Get out of here. Thank you. Neat. Whew, so that was a lot. That was a lot that I'd covered, and then I discovered that YouTube missed it all, so we covered it again. So Twitch is like, okay, I get it. Thanks for telling me a second time. But just making sure everybody knows, all right? Everybody knows. Oh my goodness. So this first 30 minutes, mainly just showing another location here in the Drake system. I'm not gonna go explore its secrets yet. No. That's for you later. That's for you guys later. So now it is time for us to go to our other save. What's our other save? Oh yeah, our new stream save. And we're gonna talk about some other little details that have been tweaked, adjusted, refined, etc., etc., etc. All right. So yeah, Vindicator, I mean, I am seriously loving the Vindicator's designs. Like I even told Matthias this, like, you guys probably recognize this even from the streams. Like, Vindicator's not really my play style. I'm not really the best at using it, okay? That's not to say the ship is bad, because I've seen you guys use it pretty well even before we've rebalanced it. So it's only gonna get better for you, right? But it's just not my play style. I don't like managing drones. I just want my own ship. I like the Stinger, for example. I like the Striker. But you know, I'm also a really big fan of the Scout. Really big fan of the Scout. So what you see here, we've got another set of wings that the Scout has received. This is the Banshee wings. So the first set of wings was the Spirit. This one is the Banshee. You can also see we've got some little extra buttons here, and that's because of the perks that we have on Terrain. For those of you who missed the conversation about Terrain, we now have a ship dealer's perk. I'll kind of move my hat out of the way. You can pause the screen, take a screenshot, if you will, to cover that if you want. We did talk about this last week, so I'm not really gonna cover it again. Basically, more ship opportunities, and you can customize the ships a little bit. So for example, like our Banshee 2, we got 30% increased weapon range and 100% increased boost energy regeneration during Shadow Strike. Let's just say I don't want that. We talk about the passives. Now it's 100% increased boost energy regeneration during Shadow Strike and 30% increased weapon range. Oh, that's hilarious. But it cycles through all the different passes for the ship, and it applies to entirely random new ones. And they can be the exact same. Awesome. Something else that I particularly like, this is just for me, you guys probably like it too, but you can only do this once. This hasn't been completely refined, and there'll be more tweaking on it, because what I can do is I can just keep pressing the toggle passives, and it keeps saying what the passives are over and over and over again. For me, I like that. I like that so much that it's like, I almost don't even want to look at the passives. Like, I'll just look at a different ship, and I'll just be like, hey, what are the passives? And I'll just hit the button and I'll read the passives right there. Okay, I don't like that, so I'll go to the next one. Like that's, for me, that works. That's not optimal, of course, but there it is. So you'd be able to toggle your passives, get something new, hopefully. Then you can also completely refresh the ship offers entirely whenever you have that perk. We're not gonna do that. Instead, we're gonna purchase this Banshee. We're just gonna buy and sell current, because that's how I operate in these live streams. Just to look at it. Just to look at it a little bit further. Also, I want a different body and engines, and I can cheat to get through that. Oh, auto saving when leaving. Oh, goodness gravy, isn't that nice? How fluid that is. I'm gonna do that one more time because I really want to put emphasis. Oh my gosh, I actually like the way this looks from behind. So the auto saving, this was just tweaked by, was it Tease? Yes, it was Tease. This was tweaked to where now when you're launching, the autosave happens at the start, right there, and then your transition into the game is flawless. There's no pause. It's subtle, but for me, it made a pretty huge difference. I was like, dang, all right. Yeah, so this is the Scout with its new wings. We'll do a quick look at it, because these are the tier 2 wings for this wing set. And of course you guys want to see the tier 1. I like my Scout to be a little bit smaller, however. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Maybe even this. Like we're gonna go super traditional Scout, and maybe even like, yeah, we're just gonna crunch it. Just crunch it down. So you can see just like how much these wings stick out. Gives you a pretty strong understanding of what's happening here. But then in addition to that, you know, of course we got the tier 1 wings for it, which are super small. Oh, they're adorable. Just like that. Super small boy wings. What a cute guy. And then you got the tier 2s. So Matthias has been hard at work. He also told me that Alex, I believe, plays a or is it Alex or Tony? I think it's Alex. Also plays a pretty decent role in making sure that these ship models are coming together. Yeah, we're pretty happy with the results thus far. Pretty stinking happy, and of course there's still a lot more to come. Scout was like my favorite ship in EVERSPACE 1, so seeing it get a little bit more variety, I'm very pleased. I just want to play around with it so much, and I'm sure you guys do too, and you'll be able to in the summer update. Oh my gosh, huge, amazing. Let's just look for a completely different ship. I don't even know what we're gonna find. Hopefully it's not something I'm not supposed to show. I even tested this beforehand so that I don't show something I'm not supposed to, and here we are. So we cycled through, oh, we got another Banshee. Oh, wow, we found one that's almost identical to the one that we have now. Excellent, good, good. Also note that when you refresh the ship offers, you can also retoggle the passive. So if you're not happy with these, then you could retoggle them. Careful, careful. All right, we got a Cyclops. Excellent, good, good. I'm sweating because I'm a little nervous. We got a Hornet, tier 3. Okay, good, good, excellent. Osprey, tier 2, excellent, awesome. Harbinger, tier 3, that's not, Cyclops, tier 3, nope, all these are bad. All these are bad, guys. Oh my gosh, those are super cool, but all these are bad. Nope, we're not ready for that yet, folks. I'm sorry, but nope, everything that you just saw, you need to just rip it out of your eyes. Nope, you're not allowed yet. That's not in the discussion for today. But as you can tell, ship module is very much in the works. We got a lot more in store for you coming down the line. And it's exciting time, it's a fun time. Pretty neat, it's pretty cool. So look forward to that. Yeah, it's good stuff. So now that we're flying this Banshee Sky, you know what, actually hang on. Let's reload the save. I wanna go back to the Striker anyway. Or the Stinger, I wanna go back to the Stinger anyway. Because I like this build, I like this particular build. I adjusted it a little bit since the last save and I played around with it so that it would be a bit more fun, a bit easier to manage. It's Toby. Michael, thank you. Oh my gosh. I said Tony, didn't I? Oh goodness. No, it's Toby. Toby helping out on the ships. Matthias told me straight up. I can't completely. Yeah. Toby and Matthias are just going hard on the ship designs. Pretty freaking cool. Pretty freaking cool. So, we're back in our Stinger Tier 2. Let's just talk about very briefly what our build is. We got Fusion Hook, Energized Boost, Nanotransmitter. So we are going to zip around like a madman, as well as heal just in case the going gets rough. And you know what? Shoot, maybe we should talk about some additional perks. Maybe because we really like healing, it's like our favorite thing of all time. Let's just talk about some perks. Delia has a new perk. It's called Nanobots. Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. Okay? And it's simple feature to help your nanobots just be better. That's what it is. She's a doctor. She's a ship doctor. Okay? She's a ship doctor. She's a human doctor and a ship doctor. Don't question it. This is how it works. And so in the nanobot field, we can invest them all because I don't want to take the time to push the button multiple times. Double the repair speed of nanobots. Then we can upgrade again to where nanobots will also repair nearby allies. So Vindicators, you're welcome. That's actually kind of a big deal for Vindicators, I feel like. Now in the heat of combat, you have to pop nanobots. That's gonna synergize so much better with your drones. So much better. And then last but not least, nanobots will also repair armor for half their percentage. Oh my goodness. What is this nonsense? What is that? Nanobots now start repairing your armor too. So in the heat of combat and everything starts getting drained down, you pop your nanobots, it's gonna start replenishing your hull, it's gonna start replenishing that armor that is clearly gone, otherwise you wouldn't be taking that hull damage. Then your shields are gonna start to recharge and you're going to be able to get back into the fray. So nanobots as a whole, because of this particular perk, are gonna see an increase in use, I think. They're gonna see an increase in use. This also, I believe, applies to the nano injector. I'm super confident in that comment. Oh my gosh, that's the one thing I didn't check. But yeah, we'll have to test it out, I suppose. That's the only way to be sure, right? We'll have to test it out. But for standard nanobots, for anybody who's like wondering like what the standard nanobots are, let's go ahead and craft some. All right, so we have these large nanobots. We'll go ahead and plug these into the ship. All right, boom. So they repair 70% of whole hit points over 10 seconds. 70% of whole hit points over 10 seconds. So because of this perk, it's gonna repair that twice as fast. So 5 seconds. It's gonna repair nearby allies. And it's also gonna repair armor for half that percentage. So 35% of our armor is gonna be restored as well. Straight up. Straight up. Neat. All right, let's go fly around our Stinger. Watch this beautiful transition with no delay now. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I do want to complete this Zharkov Explorer, so let's start heading in that direction. Just saw that neat new Banshee Scout. Are we not allowed to talk about it? No, you can talk about it. That was meant to be shown. Oh my goodness. That one was meant to be shown. Oh. You know, no matter how much preparation there is for a live stream, I'm telling you guys, it does not matter. Fate is just like, I wonder how I can screw everything up. So you guys got a little bit of an inside look at what's to come. You weren't supposed to see that yet. But hey, it's cool, it's exciting. You guys knew that we were still working on more ship wings anyway, so there you go. But I digress. It does state nanobots in the description, so I'm guessing not injectors. Yeah, I just actually need to test it. I assumed that it was gonna be all nanotechnology affected, and silly me, that's not what it says. So this is a product of rules as written versus rules as intended. If you've ever heard those two terms, this is a common game design term for how things are translated from the development standpoint to the user versus the user's interpretation, right? Man, look at us getting all like, ooh, high level intellect conversation going on. But yeah, so in short, I think that the intent is that all nanotechnologies benefit from it. So I think the nano injector does also receive the benefits, but we will check. We will check and I will be corrected very quickly if that's not correct. Just casually looking over at the chats. I know there have been probably a lot of questions, and thank you so much for those of you who kind of know the way around. Oh my gosh. I'm glad we went into auto cloak mode. That was savage. All right, but welcome to everybody who's sneaking into the stream. Thanks for those answering some questions here and there. I certainly mean to answer questions. There's just been a lot to discuss thus far. But hello, I am doing great. For those of you who have asked, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you wondering. It has been one heck of a week. We've been very productive at ROCKFISH. We have been very productive at ROCKFISH. It's pretty amazing what we've accomplished in the last couple of weeks. And, but I mean, I don't even have to say that. If you guys have been to the streams, you know that's true, because last week we had a lot to talk about. This week we got a lot to talk about as well. And it's not just talking, I should say. It's also dying, apparently. Oh my gosh. We're just gonna, just get completely wrecked by this thing, I guess. Aha! Aha! We used a nano injector, and you know what happened? It instantly repaired 40% whole hit points and 20% of our armor. So it does apply to all nanotechnologies. So that's just a simple matter of how this needs to be communicated. We will make that adjustment straight up. Who approved this? Who approved this language? How dare? Anyway, whatever. It'll be adjusted before the summer update. So that it includes nanotechnology. So if it is a nano product that repairs your hull, it is affected by this perk tree, perk upgrade. Alrighty? Cool, I'm glad we have that understanding. Oh, it's immune to the, oh, dang it. That's unfortunate. I should probably not have auto-firing missiles. Both of these are auto-fire, aren't they? How dare you? When did this get damaged? How dare you? Let's see if we can get, oh, level 25? Why did I just now notice that? Of course we're gonna get wrecked. Okay. Let's just get out of here. Let's just get out. Goodness gravy. How did I not know? 3 levels higher with this scaling adjustments, that actually is significant. Also, this music. It's so good. It's so good. Or, you know, and like that's not even the best part, right? That's not even the best part's like right here. Oh gosh, just all right. Thanks for letting me splurge. I just needed that. Oh, it's so good. All right, so we need to complete, what was our mission? What's our task? Complete 3 location challenges in Zharkov? I haven't completed 3 location challenges? Holy cow. Really? I feel like I feel like this looks like I have. That's strange. I'm just gonna ignore that and say that's a bug. I'll have to evaluate that later because we want to keep on doing fun stuff. Let's do this Zharkov signal decoder. Mine's on death, double trouble, heal on kill. This is a nasty one, but the loot quality goes up to 130%. 130%. So let's go ahead and plop this one into our location and head on over there. It's gonna be tricky though. Let's double check and make sure that we are prepared for all of these things. Oh, we need to plug that back in. Oh, we need to, you know, let's just replace it with our calibrated scattergun. This is fine. Our synchro pulse is pretty nice. We're gonna just cover our butts with the scattergun pulse laser combo. What could possibly go wrong, right? Also equip this. When you're in super light, by the way, it treats you outside of combat. So when you're seeing me plug stuff in, it's just plugged in. There's no reason why you'd have to wait 20 seconds while you literally can't use it anyway. All right. So my question seems like it will remain bad bugged location challenges. It might be a product of me carrying over old save data. But yeah, bugs are gonna be bugs. They're gonna be annoying. But you know, what can you do aside from report them and we'll address them. Wow, I think I helped him get range. Oh, yikes. All right. Oh, there's an armor drone in the area. Oh my goodness! My goodness. Oh, you know what? I know what my problem is. You know what my problem is? This build doesn't have any structure. That's what my problem is. I don't have like hardly anything that's boosting me up, do I? Ooh, and my pulse laser got damaged. All right, well, we'll just cycle to another energy weapon. We'll have to let it charge up, but that's just the position we're in. Looks like it was okay. We had enough space and time. Whew. All right, let's just start recharging ourselves as much as possible. Oh, that's good. That's good. Two armor drones? Oh no. Oh no! We're out of boost! Flying by the seat of our pants in this little guy. Oh my god. We gotta get those armor drones. That's priority. Heal on kill, double trouble, mine's on death. Man, this is bad. Oh, wait, if we could shoot some of these guys down in the front, maybe they can drop mines to hurt their buddies? Is that how it works? Maybe? Can we use this to our advantage? Too close? Okay. Woo. But you can probably see the impact that this level scaling has, because you know we're at level 22. These enemies are at level 23. They're a single level higher than us. But if we are not utilizing the tools that the Stinger is known for, then we're gonna really be punished for that, right? Like you gotta start capitalizing on the tools that you're given to maximize your abilities. Whew. A lot of pressuring space today for me, I guess. I don't know. Those only guys only level 20? What in the what? Got collision damage hasn't been adjusted too much. Whew. Excuse me. Ooh. No, I need you down. I don't want missiles exploding in my face. Stinger seems to excel at lancing. Yeah, I would say that's accurate. Quick breather. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Wow, they really don't let up, do they? Good, good. We are playing on very hard difficulty, for everybody wondering. And the difficulties have not been reevaluated yet. So it's probably not going to see any change with the summer update. So anybody who's wondering like, oh, are we gonna see like the unique modifiers come into that? Just kind of a quick little note on the difficulty system. We actually plugged it in a bit earlier than what we were planning on doing, and it was because we wanted to add some variation to that for those who wanted more of a challenge or wanted things to be easier, just to make it more accessible to help receive your feedback better, right? But as far as the difficulty setting being finalized, it's not. Our plan is to finalize that closer to the 1.0 release, so we might not even see adjustments to that until the fall update, and maybe not even until some other update next year if there's even one before the full release. All right, so want to manage those expectations accordingly. There you go. Gosh, I love this scatter gun. It's so good. So much damage. Gotta make sure I'm not exploding them as I pass through them, otherwise the mines they generate, because of this modifier, this mutator, that could seriously hurt. Whoop! Oh yeah, look at that splash damage from her ult. Woo! Oh, it's a drone carrier. All right. This should work pretty well though. Let's, yeah, that's some nice splash damage. And a lot of proc chances too with that splash, because each one of the projectiles assists in getting us that. Ooh, another one. Yeah, that does a lot of damage and it feels good. Let's calm these enemies down for a second. Woo! I was supposed to calm him down, I'll rile him up. Holy cow. Thank you, splash damage regeneration. Woo! One more armor drone. Woo! No, thank you. Woo! This is why play it safe is such a fantastic perk. What a fantastic perk to have that I am blocking the language of. Oh my goodness. Pretty sure if we didn't have that perk, we'd probably be dead. I think we'd be dead. My goodness. You know, a flat cannon might actually be pretty beneficial in this space. The more I'm thinking on it. Especially with all the mines that they drop. But we got the boss to spawn. almost there. Here, let's go collect this shipwreck while we wait. 2 shipwrecks? Oh, nice. This is a pretty cool area that just randomly generated for us in a... Oh, nice. I'll gladly take that. Here, let's start equipping that. Actually, wait, we're out of combat. So that just instantaneously was added because it was right before the boss worked in. I was a little bit lucky. Nice. All right. Oh yeah, absolute destruction. That sound effect will probably get adjusted because I'm talking about it right now and I know that Gabriel goes back and watches the stream to see if there's anything he needs to tweak. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. So you can see, like, even though the striker is thin, you know, we took a lot. Like, whenever we would take damage, it was like we're now flying by the seat of our pants for survival, right? But when we dish out damage, we can do quite the number. And also you can see from the loot that we picked up, I mean, let's just look at that. The loot has definitely been upped so that whenever you complete high-risk locations, as you should be rewarded, the loot density does increase accordingly. So we got a lot in here. Did we only get 1 superior though? That seems fishy. We either got gypped by a little bit of RNG on that front, or we're not done building that out completely. But regardless, high-risk areas, like, we are still working on those to make sure that they are very satisfying to complete, not only from a challenge standpoint, but, you know, you have to be rewarded for your time that you're committing to them. So on that front, on the front of high-risk area mutators, I also would like to very quickly and briefly mention that the mutators are not finalized. There are still more coming. Some might end up being removed. There's one that we really like, but also hasn't been very fun. We like it conceptually, but its execution is a little bit frustrating. And of course, it doesn't generate on any of these. But it's called, I think it's called Weakest Link. So the concept behind it is that one enemy at a time can be attacked, and that's it. And you have to destroy that before the next one. And what we were seeing is that, like, there'd be an armor drone somewhere that you couldn't kill. And so you'd have to mow through, like, a drone, then a fighter, then a bomber, as everything else is pummeling you. And we kind of counteracted that by making the loot density a lot better if you get that mutator, but it takes a long time. So we are recognizing little details like that. We've also seen a couple people chatting about it, even though you guys don't have it yet and you can't really experience it yet. We do appreciate your feedback just from watching the streams and saying, oh yeah, you know, this kind of, I have my concerns. That's fine, we do too. We do too, that's why I'm letting you know. So yeah, we'll probably make some more adjustments. Okay, so I've been blabbing a very healthy amount. Let's answer some questions, because we've shown a lot, we've been talking a lot. I also want to make sure we're covering all fronts. One second, guys, sorry. I want to make sure I have my proper lists in place to deliver you all the excellent news and information. Something that we talked about last week, I don't have an example, and I probably won't make it because it's currently bugged and it would be a bad example in that front. But the repeater, the Bloodstar repeater, its energy consumption and was reduced, and the projectiles were increased. And again, I showed it last week. I think you'd be able to, like, backtrack and find that. If it's too hard, don't worry about it, because again, it's getting tweaked a little bit further. There were some issues. So adjustments will be made. But it should be a much better weapon now, honestly. So we mostly want to repair our stuff. Wait. Oh yeah, we want to repair our stuff that's not active. And then we just want to sell some stuff too. I'm just gonna cycle all this out, why not? And then we'll go back to Union. We could do this one. We'll go to the Khait Nebula, and we'll activate this one. And we'll do another high-risk area as we start answering your questions. Oop. So let's head over to the Khait Nebula. Let's go to the gas field first. All right, first question that I look over and spot comes from Bill Farson on YouTube. I had everything aligned and then I looked over and I messed everything up. Okay, here we go. I spent like 100 houses on the game and still can't find a fusion hook anywhere. How do I get one? First off, that's a lot of money if it's been 100 houses. I'm also impressed because we don't even have microtransactions. Now, if you were talking about 100 hours, that would make a lot more sense. No big deal. Autocorrect is mean. But yeah, so the fusion hook is granted through a very specific event, and it's actually somewhat nearby where we are at. It's, there it is. I would recommend that you go to this location and just do some poking around. That's what I would recommend. All right, it's a secure container. Oh, this guy, guarding the spatial bypass. We probably should find a way to take him out. I don't like that he's just sitting on that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Just like it coming out of the clouds. That's kind of, I got goosebumps. That's pretty neat. We're gonna jam their weapons so they can't shoot us while we just barrage them. Excellent. Give me all your loot. Wow, he gave us a ton of stuff. All right. I think there was a question earlier about like, what are the prerequisites for triggering combat mode? How long does it last if you're like exiting it and coming back into it and stuff? Now, in my short playtesting sessions, what I will say is that it does seem to linger when you get, when you're like trying to leave the range of enemies. But like here, you can see that we're not in combat. The way that I've been recognizing it is that the second that an enemy starts effectively targeting you is when you go into combat. So right there, you heard that ting sound. It wasn't like a range, but like you hear the ting sound, it sees us. Now we're in combat mode. That's how I understand it. I imagine I'll get further clarity because I think this question was also asked internally. Because I think that's a good question. But ultimately, it comes down to not like a specific range. It comes down to if you are aggroing an enemy or not. And again, it does linger if you're trying to get away. So like, we are beyond 2 kilometers now, but we're still in combat range. And he's still kind of tracking us down, so we're still in combat, right? So it's still lingering. And that is intended. Now it's gone away, but then we can re-engage. I really want this guy to go away. Let's try and use our synchro pulse. Oh, you know what? We should have actually, man, that stinks. I just drained all its energy. But I want to use the synchro pulse in conjunction with the thermogun just for the most shenanigans possible on this guy. I just want him down. I want to take him out. Auto-firing missiles, man. It's a blessing and a curse against units that teleport when you fire missiles at them. Almost got him. All right, there we go. Woo! Woo! Oh, we are still in combat. See, it lingers. It lingers. Oh, well. All right, so spatial bypass. We're going to go to the Khait Nebula. There we go. The ping, so it's on aggro. Yeah, that's how I understood it when it was communicated to me, but yeah. If I get any more information, I'll let you guys know. But that's how I understood it.
Could we please return to using jump gates?
Jump gates? Where we're going, we don't need jump gates.
All right. So now we're gonna activate our Khait Nebula decoder. This one's pretty good. So enemy regen, overheat systems, and corrosive death. We'll do this one, then we'll talk a little bit more about some of the stuff that was added for anybody who's missed it. And you kind of actively see as we're going through these combat sequences and situations, just how much of an impact it really does have over the game. Man, I'm kind of glad the Redeemers are helping us out here. Alright, now we want our missiles back on. We gotta wait for them to charge up, and that's fine. Another peacemaker. Nice. There we go. Oh, yes. Now, Redeemers are a bit faster than normal enemies, so thermal guns aren't actually as good against them as other enemy types. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. They are much more evasive. So, between like all the enemy types in the game, the Redeemers, the Disciples in particular, they can outmaneuver thermal guns. They can kind of be annoying, but that's intentionally designed. So, generally speaking, you don't really want to use thermal guns on them. You can see that the energy management is playing a bit more of a role here with us, which is also intended, by the way. So our synchro pulse, like, we're able to shoot it for a while, but it does, you know, drain out. Woo! Especially when we're missing all our shots. There we go. But yeah, our energy's basically gone. Yeah, look at our energy management now. We're like cycling back and forth between these because we don't want to stop firing. But so long as you are doing that, if you're cycling between your weapons, you should be fine. And also so long as, you know, you have like an energy core that's a similar level to your equipment, you're going to feel that difference a lot whenever you get to the summer update that's coming out this summer. And it feels really good. I'm saying that like with all sincerity. Like I started a new game, which I encourage you guys to do so when the summer update drops. Of course, there's going to be people who challenge out, whatever, I don't care. Point is, new game, you're starting from level 1, you're building all your way up forwards. With this new system that's been designed around that, the progression feels so much more satisfying and so much more valuable to like me as the player. You know, I've got like this level 1 gun and I got like this level 5 energy charger. It's like, okay, something about this feels really cool because even though this weapon doesn't do a lot of damage, it recharges pretty fast, right? So there's kind of like a satisfaction there, but then you also, you know, up the ante, you get a much more powerful weapon, you higher level, and tandem with that, again, that level 5 energy core. Now all of a sudden you're doing damage and you're like doing the proper energy management thing, and then like you start building up even further, you get like your level 8 weapon, whatever, and your energy core is not satisfactory, so now you're cycling between like multiple powerful weapons, but the energy is kind of garbage, so you have to take out your opponents because you don't have enough energy. Oh my gosh, what's this tangent he's going on? Anyway, my point is that it's much more satisfying when you put those pieces together to maximize the benefit of your energy. It is so much better than what it was before, because before, you know, I would talk on it and I would like try to put emphasis on it, but it really wasn't that profound. This system changes that. The system where the progression of scaling energy as well as damage is so much more applicable now in this next build. It's not something that you'll really notice until you're not managing your equipment. So when you find that next big item that you want to use and you plug it in, it's going to feel good now, if you are taking into account the other components on your ship. So, yeah, I like it. I like it. All right, so now we need to go to this high-risk area. Then we're gonna go back to our lava location one more time, fight some Zurilia again. Oh, what am I doing? I need to push this button, not the other button. Dev cheats! Nothing you guys haven't seen before, it's just an accidental button push. All right, let's go to this high-risk area. Inquisitor's actually dangerous now. So Shadowy, it's actually an effect of the light ships requiring you to be evasive more than it is the Inquisitors being harder. So because of how the scaling has occurred overall, with the weights of the different ships, the light ships, like sincerely, like my face is in the way, but like the ships are scaled down accordingly and up accordingly, if you will. So light ships, you really do have to focus on your handling and speed to best your opponents while also utilizing, you know, your special, your passives, your ult, your equipment, you know, all that fun stuff. But if you're not taking care of yourself, like if you're avoiding your structure especially, goodness, I just did like a sample play test earlier this week just to see the difference. I had a level 20, was it a scout or a vanguard? I think I was flying a vanguard. It was one of the light ships. The light ship is the most important thing here. It was a level 20 light ship. I think it was a vanguard. And I went up against a level 20 fighter, and I decided to see what would happen if I equipped like full-blown firepower on this build, right? And by doing that, it was so incredibly satisfying to see me dropping these level 20s as a level 20 like flies. And if they got like 3 or 4 shots on me, I was done. Like, like I'm not joking. Like the glass cannon build, if you are just focusing into one thing, now that's actually possible to become is like a glass cannon. If you want to establish a more balanced build, which I would probably recommend, you're going to satisfy many more of these parts of your gameplay experience so that there's room for error, like your structure. Structure hasn't really been relevant for the existence of early access, I'm going to be honest. And now it's starting to paint a bigger picture because the weight of your ship, the type of your ship is becoming far more important now. Far more important now. And heavy is like, goodness. Oh my gosh. I mean, you saw the Vindicator at the start. We'll see it again in just a moment. That thing's just like, it can tank for days, especially because its drones got boosted too. Oh my gosh, Vindicators, man. Vindicator players are gonna rejoice this summer update. But it needed the boost. It needed the boost, we're aware. Oh man, it is quite the change. Thanks for the overheat, by the way, you redeemer. Oof. There we go. I think it's kind of terrible that we're fighting these redeemers with a thermogun after I very specifically told you guys that redeemers avoid thermoguns. That issue has since been corrected. All right. They're still really fast though, so maybe I should go back to the thermogun. Oh my goodness. Oh, that damage output though. Let's restore ourselves. Woo! I am very glad that we can repair through our attacks and this light ship build that I've got going on. Here, let's just end you with a missile or two. Woo, these guys are fast. Is that one of the mods? No, it's not. Overheated systems, corrosive death. Okay. Good, good. Uh-oh. Here, let's just get some hits and restore health. It requires getting hits. Oh my gosh. Everything's falling apart. Oh! When in doubt, just energize boost, right? Ooh. So for those who are wondering, we actually just died. Ouch. Can't let that happen again. Woo! What do you guys think? Do the high-risk areas look like they're actually high-risk now? What are your thoughts? Oh, I'm like sweating as I'm playing this game. My hands are freaking... Oh my gosh, it's like, whoo! Like part of me is like, no, this is totally fine. It's working as intended. It's a good thing to show this to the people. At the same time, it's like, oh my gosh, like I gotta perform well. I gotta show them that these builds actually work and be satisfying. But dang, it's hard. Ah, goodness. Oh my gosh, way too easy. Can you ramp it up a notch or 3? You absolute jerk. Oh my gosh. No, but we're really satisfied with the progress going on with the high risk, and it looks like you guys are too. I'm glad. I'm glad. All right, so casual look over for some questions. Let's answer just a couple while we're paused so I can kind of re-centralize my chi. Is there going to be a tier above superior for the weapons and equipments? Yes, legendaries are in fact coming. Bill Farson did answer that, but I just want to give that added confirmation. Legendaries are not something that we will be showing for a while. Maybe fall, I don't know. But for a while, they're not coming this summer update. And legendaries are, for all intents and purposes, they are standout pieces from anything else. So while it is a tier, it's also a unique item. Does that make sense? So it's a bit of both. It's a tier and a unique item. So it's one step above superior, but it's also not like any of the other pieces of equipment. All right, in terms of the roadmap you have, what percentage of completion do you think you've got done? That depends on what your, on how you're defining completion. Like if you're looking at it from a story-driven level, if you're talking about assets generated, if you're talking about like the integral gameplay systems, like if you're talking about, there's too many factors there that could be misconstrued. Like if I said 60%, that could be so twisted for somebody to think there's so much more content ahead, right? So, you know, it kind of depends on how you're like soaking it in. If you're talking like from the point of us starting to actually physically work on the title to when it will be completed to, you know, the beginning of next year, if you're looking at like just the timeline of completion, shoot, I mean, the concept phase of EVERSPACE 2 was it 2017, Michael? Was it 2018? Man, so I mean, it depends, right? And I don't think it's very valuable to say what percentage it's done. I think it's more applicable to say and show what the game has to offer so that you can be interested in it, or not to know like what that content's gonna look like, and just know that there's gonna be more ahead of what we have for that full release at the beginning of next month. Because like even if we were to talk about the perks, for example, I mean, we just added, you know, 2 new perks. We just added 2 new perks. So it's like, well, what's the percentage completion of the perks? I don't know. We're evaluating the game state. It's like, oh man, we really need to tweak this somehow. What should we do? Let's add a perk. Boom. Didn't even know it was gonna happen, but we did it. And it's gonna help you out. It's gonna help us out. So it's hard, right? It's really hard to like, you know, give those numbers. Really hard to give those numbers. Like there's an individual who, like, when we were having a conversation at the time of the it was the spring release, based on the completion of like the finalization of all the components of the game, they were convinced and were telling me that it was at like 10% completed. Because we still have to balance, we still have to retouch, we still have to, you know, reevaluate so much that the game has to offer. And to a degree, they're right. To a degree, they're right. That the game's 10% done. And the friggin' spring of this year, what? But again, it's using that specific mindset of what they are comparing it against and towards, right? To get that figure. But I also think it's pretty clear that we're a little beyond 10% of a game here. I hope it is. Because if not, I don't know how to fix that expectation. I'm sorry. Woo! Speaking of expectations, oh my gosh. Woo! You know what we're gonna do is we're gonna use, we're gonna start plugging in some more resources because we need them, my goodness. Let's pop some nanobots here. Let's get a cloak field generator here. Here, let's max this out. I want to get full-blown peacemakers. We'll plug them in there. So you can see we got 20 seconds that we got to deal with before we can utilize this. This is going to be a long 20 seconds. But we are going to try and avoid fire for 20 seconds. And thankfully we're in a light ship. If we were in a heavier ship, this might be... Maybe it's still going to be a problem in a light ship. Oh my gosh. So we're going to start repairing a little bit here and there. Here we go, much better. All right. Well, let's get ourselves lined up with the right shots. All right, I think we've got a game plan. Oh, hello there. Woo! Oh, don't fly fly too fast. Slow down. Let me shoot you. There we go. Our health's looking good, but you know, we haven't put that much emphasis in structure, so things could change very quickly if we start taking too much damage. Whoop. Lost my target. Ah, I don't like that. There you are. Woohoo! That is a drone so far away. What in the world is he doing? He's just watching. It's the cameraman. All right. Oh! I'm in trouble again! Ow. All right. Let's line up our shots. There we go. Give me some health. Thank goodness for these new consumables, am I right? Whoa. Oh, we're so close! Come on! Oh no! Oh no, we're wasting our device! Oh, we really needed that. We really needed that. All right, we're gonna space this out. Whew. All right, enemy defeated. Man, it really feels like I'm playing EVERSPACE 1 here. Like you get to like sector 5 or 6 and like everybody's after you. Man. Here we go. Oh, come on. Oh, why did our weapon got overheated? Oh my goodness. Okay, hang on, hang on. Woo! All right. There we go. Man, let me tell you what, it is so much more satisfying completing these, even since we first started releasing the mutators. And then just like having a swath of stuff to just go through, this is very pleasant. This is very pleasant. We got a prototype booster. Nice. More peacemakers. Excellent, excellent. But yeah, so, woo! I was some intense mutators. I had a lot of fun with that. I imagine you guys were probably a little, you probably enjoyed that a little bit too. I hope you did, because that's what high-risk areas are going to be like from the beginning of the game to the end. They are one complementary source that you can obtain loot from, to gain blueprints from, especially. That just kind of like fills in that void if you're doing a lot of exploration and you need a combat challenge, something that really is like boosting you up. They can satisfy that. Now, I do want to stress though that this is not the end game content that EVERSPACE 2 is going to offer. This is one element of that, okay? This is one thing that you can do, again, from the beginning of the game to the end. You can do it if you want at the end of the game. But we are also working on more content, which we will talk about in the fall, for the fall update. So, good. So now that I spent too much time at that location, let's just go one more time back to the new fire location that we showed. One more time, and also just to look at that beautiful new Vindicator. Whew. Oh, I see somebody asked about like Borderlands 3 unique legendaries. So, I don't think that Borderlands, in regards to how they set up their legendaries, is a good reference point for what Everspace 2 is going to offer for their for our legendaries. I think it would be better to associate with something like a Diablo 2, as Chadawi mentioned. To a degree, maybe like, well, no, I almost said a game, but it might not be quite right. But yeah, it's more that they are a single unique item of that type that stands out from its peers, that normally would have some additional effect on it, perhaps, maybe, probably. So yeah, and also, yeah, and I just saw that from Dr. Uwu. I am playing on very hard. That's like the only game mode for me. It's like, I'm one of those guys, like anytime I get a new game, I'm just like, okay, what do we got here? I'm ready for the game mode. And it's like easy, medium, hard. And I'm just like, I'm looking to scroll down. It's like, why won't this scroll down? That's just the type of player I am. I want to be completely crushed by the game so that I can learn its systems as fast as possible to then best it and have the most satisfaction. I get that not everybody's like that. And that's also why we didn't make the game have one difficulty. So, but this will have a bit more incorporated on this front in the future. But yeah, it's just how I am. It's not saying that I'm better. It's not saying I'm worse. It's just how I play. It's how I do. All right, let's just provoke all of this nonsense and show our Vindicator as we take on these bombers and these drones with a flak cannon that isn't going to just explode in our face unless it quite literally hits a target directly in front of us, which would probably be pretty rare to happen. Man, look at all these drones. This is kind of crazy, actually. All right, let's see if we can start punishing them a little bit. I love the cluster bomb sound, like that nearby in a hot location like this that the Zurilia are in ownership of. Just adds to like the theme of these locations, I suppose. Everything's on fire and exploding, including ourselves. So that shield. Oh my gosh, I shot the flak. Okay, so this is a perfect example of talking about why we adjusted the flak, actually. So I'm glad this happened. Wow, so because I kept holding down the fire button and this bomber flew directly in front of my face with its shield right there, I shot the shield, damaging myself because it's not gonna pass through the shield, and it's going to trigger its explosion because it hit a solid object. So I took a ton of self-damage there, and then I flew directly into the fireworks. Oh, ouch pain, population me. And that's what happens when you aren't playing intelligently and are talking instead of focused on flying. Don't talk and fly, ladies and gentlemen. That is the be-all, end-all point that we have to offer here. So, but yeah, I hope you guys like that addition to the Zurilia bomber. I think it's actually pretty fun. I think it's pretty cool. I'm gonna just do a very, very quick triple check now on the stuff that I was meant to tell you about. Oh, I missed one. I missed one thing. Here, let's, I don't actually think I have a save file that would do this. Maybe I do? Yes, I do. I think this will work. I'll have to do a little bit of cheating. Don't mind me. But I want to talk about one other change we did to companion perks. So Alec? Yeah, our good buddy Alec. He got a change to his fire support. Oh, we gotta get some more liquor and some more credits. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, we're totally cheating here. Just ignore me, okay? Just pretend like the screen is hidden, okay? Actually, I do need to hide this part. This part I do need to hide. You can't see all the commands. Sorry. So quick break. quick little break, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back because, you know, it's also important to note that, you know, we have a lot of places that you can go, aside from just the streams, to hang out with us, ask us questions, you know, all those things, all those necessary things that are just, it's all fine and happy and dandy and fun and fruitful. Anyway, my point is that you can't see the screen. And the Discord is actually a really great place for you to go to be in conversation with us. And I have just now realized that this hasn't been implemented yet. Dang it! Hans Christian? I'm blaming Hans Christian. I have no reason to. Anyway, what is going to change, but I can't actually show you yet, is that on the fire support, the second tier, so it says coil gun here. It says coil gun. This is actually changed. So instead of it being a coil gun, now it's going to require specifically an equalizer. And that equalizer can't be installed on your ship. It can't be equipped on your ship. So it has to be in your cargo, and it has to be an equalizer. There might be another change to that as well. Maybe. Don't you guys like those clear-cut responses so you know exactly what's happening? Man. Anyway, but yeah. I think that was the bulk of what we were covering. Yeah, so just like a really super quick recap, we covered combat mode to where whenever you're equipping secondaries and consumables, you're restricted. We covered how whenever you equip weaponry, regardless of combat mode or not, it starts at 0 energy. If you're outside of combat mode, your secondaries and your consumables are not restricted whatsoever. You can just equip them, no ramifications. We showed the new ship modules, specifically the wings for the Scout, the Banshee. We showed the Typhoon for the Vindicator. We showed the new heavyweight body, the recessed cockpit. We talked about weapons, that the repeater energy consumption and the projectiles, which is borked, so I couldn't show you. We talked about the flak projectiles that don't trigger when they are super close to you, but still do if it hits something directly in front of you. So if you're firing an asteroid point blank range and you blow up, that's on you. And then we also talked about the undocking stutter being removed. Whew. Believe it or not, there's actually more on my list, but I don't want to give away all the secrets. We got to have something to show next week. And by next week, I mean, actually, I'm out next week. So let's keep that in mind. We still might have a stream. I need to follow up with somebody about that. Whoops. Otherwise, yeah, the next stream where I will be present will be in 2 weeks. And I'm confident that I will have plenty to show and talk about then. I am guaranteed to have some really cool things to show you. And I'm really looking forward to it, actually. So that's going to be a fun day. And then after that, I mean, the summer update's got to be showing up soon, right? It's got to be showing up soon. It's got to be. It's got to be. So, all right. All right. So now, what we need to do is go to the fan art stuff. Oh my gosh, we haven't done the fan art stuff. We gotta jump over to the fan art stuff. It's that last bit of the stream. So now I'm going to be far more hyper-focused on your questions instead of distracted by all the oogly googly wonderful things. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So I'm going to start pulling all these datas up. So you're going to see this screen again. Oh my gosh, look at us going back and forth between screens. How dare this streamer? I want my money back. Ridiculous. All right, we're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. It was a nice, simple, short break. So, yeah. So, this segment is, this is all about the community content, where I'm just showing off screenshots and fan art that were collected and shared with us via Discord specifically, that just, they resonated with me. They make me happy. They make me want to print it out, slap it on my wall, or just rotate it through my absolutely endless screenshots that I have for my freaking desktop wallpapers. Yeah, it's a really great time. It's a really great time. But otherwise, please keep asking questions, and I will absolutely ensure I can get to those now, since my focal point is on your conversation as it is your screenshots and your fan art. This one comes from Key Sky. Key Sky is a new introduction to our community, I believe. They found us a couple weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, and they have started going ham in the Discord. Oh, I love it. All these screenshots. In fact, I've got 4 from them for today. This one's just a nice, pleasant moon-looking thing in the background of, what's that station called in Union? I can't remember. It looks like cotton candy clouds. I love it. And it's just a very elegant photo. Calm us down from all that combat, all that crazy, as we introduce ourselves into this next sector of goodness from all you guys. So good. So good. Let's see. I know that it's too early, but what's the Ancient Rifts update later this year all about? Well, it is too early, but what it's about is, we have talked about it a little bit in the past. So I'm gonna cycle to the next one. This one's from Medbed. We'll talk about it as I answer this question. Basically, Ancient Rifts are going to be kind of like the roguelike section of EVERSPACE 2. So it's like bringing in a component of EVERSPACE 1 where you have a generated mission to go through these environments, these spaces, to accomplish a task. You're trying to do a thing, and the further you get, the more rewards you're gonna get from it. This is an end game planned event, sequence, situation, mission thing. And more of the details surrounding it, how it's being accomplished, and more accurate description thereof will come out this fall. But everything what I've just spoke on has been public. We've talked about it even in the Kickstarter updates, the Steam updates. We've written out just that sample of what it's potentially going to look like. That will develop and change, of course, when that time gets here. Medbad, love this shot of Prescott Starbase. I love how you're capturing the scale of everything going on. I forget how much detail was plugged into this freaking environment. Like, sometimes silly old me, silly just gamer Eric, I'll fly to Prescott Starbase and I see all the locations inside and just like, oh, I'm just gonna go to one location, stop, get my stuff, and get out of there. And it's like, I don't even take the time to appreciate what's really been plugged in here, and it's absurd. And I'm sure that you guys, especially those of you who've been carrying along since the beginning of early access, you've seen Prescott get further developed and optimized. Like, the buildings have received vast improvements, and the load quality inside of this space so much better from the beginning to now where we're at. So it's amazing. So major kudos to you, Medbad, for putting the focus on Prescott Starbase, giving it some love. Really, really good stuff. Zurilia popping in saying Drake system, best system. Well, hello there, Zurilia. By chance, did you provide a creative reward to EverSpace 2? I'm just curious. All right. So let's see. We've got this shot from the Chemical Bro, who always does such a wonderful job of capturing very intricate detail of ships in particular. And I think this is a storytelling picture, because we got this station in the background that's clearly gone through some stress. We got smoke, we got pieces everywhere in the lower left corner, but yet it's still a vibrant, shining community of sorts, because we got like advertisements and stations up there. You know, it's still in operation, and yet we got this thug in this right corner that the player's taken down because he's not supposed to be here. It's probably why the station's a wreck in the first place. But this is Okar Protector from the Prime cast. And so they are definitely not welcome here, and the player is making sure that's known. I just love the way that comes together. Very well done. Next we got Spoot Knight, who I don't even know how this happened. I have no idea. He desynced his synchro pulse laser. So, I mean, you can see it for yourself. Like, it's not firing in unison. I don't know. Early access is weird. I can't tell you more than that. So, nice capture. And will we fix it? I have no clue. Who knows? Maybe this is a feature. Maybe there's an elusive pulse laser out there, a synchro pulse, that actually doesn't fire in tandem and has a 90% chance, or excuse me, a 1% chance that it just self-destructs because there's a component inside of it that's, you know, problematic. Whatever. But an interesting find nonetheless. Very much appreciate the share. We got another one from Key Sky here that's overlooking Siren Sea, a beautiful place to take photos. I dig it so much. We've got this nice focused look down at the Flying Duchess. That's what it's called. Oh my goodness. Love the way that the depth of field is used on the player ship, so it makes you focused to the distance, right? And we also have this huge asteroid right over here for scale, right? Just to see how much is just decorated in this space. What's out there? Very much. Desynchro pulse, yes. Very good, you guys. Timing belts off. Oh, goodness. All right, this one's another one from Key Sky again. Very nice, clean shot. No complaints. No complaints. Some of you guys, I feel like you try too hard with screenshots. That's right. I'm calling you out. I'm not really calling anybody out. It's fine. Take screenshots. It's great. It's honestly great. Sometimes simplicity is key. Sometimes it's best to just take a nice, relaxing shot. Boom. Works really well. Nice and clean. It's not trying to be something it's not supposed to be. I dig it. So nice shot, Key Sky. We got Spoot Night again. I love these cockpit shots. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. I love the energy. That's a pun. Anyway, all right, sorry. What's that, Michael? I'm getting docked pay? Oh, okay. Well, I just like the way that this comes together. It's incredibly, like, woo! I love that combat sequence. I love seeing from the cockpit and you have that focal point again, using that depth of field. So good. It's so good. I like the way that these shots are put together. And I think there's a number of you guys out there who do so great at doing these cockpit shots. Keep it coming. I play in like third person all the time because like that's just how I am. And you guys will sometimes ask, hey, can you please play in first person? I'm happy to do so, but I don't do it very long because again, I'm a third person player. But these screenshots, man, I really like how they come together. Palpatine ship. Hang on a second. But no, it's good. But I love it very much. Deshra says, getting good angles inside the cockpit is a pain with how fast the camera moves. Yes, it is, but it can be done. It can be done. Bill's got a suggestion. Suggestions are for the forums! I'll read it, it's fine. So I was roaming around Prescott Starbase and I accidentally boosted to this completely empty looking and uninteresting part of the base, and suddenly a side mission named Vaultworthy got activated, and maybe there's more like that. So I was wondering if you could add something on the map that shows how many side missions you have unlocked or completed. Do we not have that? I thought we had that. I think that there's actually a couple more improvements we're making to the map information screen. Like much as you've seen like the resources kind of get revamped across the board on that front, I think there's going to be some tweaks and modifications. In fact, one of the discussions that I had internally, shoot, how long ago was it? It wasn't too long ago at all. About the completion rewards, the completion items to satisfy the 100% completion of a location. They're hard to identify because there's random containers that can generate, and yet there's also specific containers, fixed containers in an area that you have to collect in order to trigger that 100%. So like the randoms, they don't add to the 100%, but the fixed do. How do you distinguish between the two? They both literally look exactly the same. So there's very likely going to be some tweak, adjustment, modifier, or addition, maybe even subtraction to how that operates. But as far as like the missions themselves, it's hard to say because we kind of like the fact that some of the side missions are hidden until you go to certain locations and talk to certain people or trigger certain events. Like, we don't want you to just be like, hey, Ross Bob over across Union needs you to create a painting for him, and it triggers right as you get the Hive unit entering into Union. You know, like that that doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? Like, because you're on a mission, you're trying to do things. But if you go to a site and then somebody recognizes you, you're like, hey, you look like somebody who could do this job, that feels far more in line with how our delivery of those systems work. So, but we'll see, because you know, the completionists out there want everything they possibly can to get to where they want to go. So we'll see. This next shot is the last one from Key Sky. They were throwing their Destiny vibes at us, and I dig it. I think this one comes across pretty well. I like the color scheme, and I really like highlighting ships that you guys have made and stylized. It's always a joy to see the skill involved to make the various ship colors work together. It's hard. It's hard sometimes. Like if you go in there and you just like select random colors, it looks weird. You have to be very intentional about how you're bringing everything together, whether it's metallic, whether it's just the standard matte, whether it's, you know, you've got added logo across the way, you know, what have you. Even the emissives are important to complement the way the ship comes together. And yeah, I love what you guys come up with to do that. It's very cool to see. So good job, Key Sky. Next one is a throwback. This is a throwback to, if you look at that upper left corner, it says closed beta. This is from the prototype. It's from the prototype. This is a Coalition branded interceptor. And I think it was one of Geekbyte's first shots. Is that correct? I love it though. It kind of has Mandalorian colors. You're right. Oh my gosh, now I can never unsee it. Oh, goodness gravy. Any idea when track IR will be implemented? Gosh. Hang on a second. I might have an answer for you. Track IR implementation. Did we have... So we've worked on it a little bit, but it's certainly not ready. It's not going to be ready for the summer update. It's definitely, like, we're going to make it. It's definitely something that we... Oh wait, I think this has been implemented. Has it been Wait a second. Oh, Igmar joined the chat. We'll have a look in the option menu, game settings. Okay, all right. Well, there you go. Summer update ready. Thanks, Igmar. Maybe I need to jump back over to the game real quick after this. I didn't realize that, actually. Complete surprise. Thank you for that wonderful surprise, Igmar. So Truck IR apparently, allegedly, will be ready for the summer update. Very cool. Yeah, because you were testing it like last week. Oh my gosh. And I even commented. There has been so much we've done this month, okay? Look, in my defense, wow, I'm not even joking. The team, we have been going absolute crazy with bringing together all the components necessary, refining these systems, like the overhaul to the scaling. Oh my gosh, guys, there's been so much. So I'm just gonna chalk that up to my brain is too full of information of what we've been up to. But yeah, there you go. Track IR. Woo! Man. Nuts. Okay. Geekbyte, great shot. Love the explosions. Very cool. Woo! All right. And last but not least for the screenshots, we have Dark Chaos once again. He does these wonderful shots of showcasing environments. Love the way he brings it all together, and this is, you know, according to all that fantastic stuff he normally does. I like the way that he's using color here. You've got the light source of green on the left side versus the yellow ship on the right that stand out just enough but aren't being obnoxious. Then you've got those blue crystals that you can't mine at all. They are completely useless. Screw you, crystals. I want actual resources I can collect, but they look really neat. So love the way that that's used with the orange background. You got those contrasting colors, of course, and making it widescreen furthers that depth, even though there isn't any depth of field being utilized. So very cool overall. Love it. I love it. We have a very, very, very short segment for the fan art, so we will pop that open right the heck now. We got 2 from the Chemical Bro and 1 from Drive Live. We're gonna show it because it's funny. The Chemical Bro makes stickers. He likes to make these little stickers, or rather they could be stickers. They're not actual stickers. But who knows, maybe they will be. Go to the ROCKFISH Games shop where you can buy all the stickers. Anyway, but no, love the way that he's colored his gunship. We talked about that in the past. He also put this like on a t-shirt. And I like the way he does it on the t-shirt. Like, okay, all right, I could see myself wearing something like that. I could see myself wearing something like that. I do enjoy the way that he photoshops this onto t-shirts. Very, very cool. So good stuff on that front. Last but not least, oh, hang on, it's just autoplay. Hang on a second. Why is the sound not working? Sound work? Work sound, please? Why are you muted? Don't be muted. Oh, there we go. All right, so this one is from Drive Live. You gotta have a meme or two here and there, right? So this is Drive Live's experience. Here we go. How to prevent too much damage. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Just so everyone's fully clear, we're not coming to the Nintendo Wii, but thank you for that. I really, really appreciate your humor to bring this all together. All right, we're gonna bounce back over to just the standard imagery. We'll just have this nice, pleasant one as we continue to chat for an additional minute. Oh my gosh. Oh. There we go. So were there any last minute questions? We covered a lot today. I recognize that. I blew through a lot of content. I exploded once. We had a slight tangent. Man, the recap is gonna be 10 minutes long for this month. Goodness. So let's see. I think I missed a question earlier. Let me scroll. When your hull is at 100%, the nanobots will immediately start recharging your armor then. So the way it works right now is the nanobots, when you have the perk, it instantly repairs the armor. I think that will be changed to where it repairs over time. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to wait and see because that perk was just added and there's probably gonna be some tweaks to it. But regardless, what that does, whenever you're using a nanobots, half of the amount that it would apply to your hull, so if it says 70% is gonna restore your hull over, was it 10 seconds? Then 35%, half of 70, 35% of your armor is gonna be restored, okay? We might, I'm gonna talk with somebody. I think it would be nice. Actually, I'm not even gonna say that because I don't know if it was gonna happen. And if I say that it could potentially happen and then it doesn't, you're gonna be disappointed. We're not gonna go there. But we might make some improvements just to help you understand more fully like what's happening with the perk changes and whatnot. Because, you know, there's a lot of stuff that changes. And once you get a perk, it's permanent. There's no going back on that. So yeah, anyway. Let's see, do stars kill now by flying too close? No, we still haven't implemented that. That still hasn't been a focal point. We should actually, goodness, I should bring that up. I'm sure the team would love me pulling that one out of the woodworks. But no, they still don't. What about that frozen Okar ship? Oh yeah, definitely a popsicle. Don't worry too much about it. And let's see. Can we have cursed weapons? No, we don't really do anything like cursed stuff. We like just going on the positive side regarding equipment. So at worst, you're going to have conditions that affect your equipment, one of which your weapons, where you can have it overheated or broken. And in those states, your weapons are cursed to the extent of where it's gonna cost a lot more energy to fire them. They're not gonna do as much damage because their fire rate's reduced, etc., etc. What am I buying? Some wireless headsets for heaven's sake? I like the wire. Does the wire bother you guys that much? I don't like wireless. Oh, I don't like wireless at all. I don't like managing batteries. No, no thank you. Am I old school for that? I don't know. That's just how I am. I am over time, but I'm gonna answer just a couple more questions because we covered a lot. When will we be able to retrieve sticky turrets? So sticky turrets are designed to be fire once gone situations. We don't really want them to be like, you fire 4 sticky turrets, you complete the combat, you pick up the 4 sticky turrets, you go to your next combat, you fire those 4 sticky turrets again. You know, we don't want that system. We don't want that meta to be generated. So consumables are, you use them once and then they're gone. And so when you fire off that sticky turret, it fires, it sticks, it's gonna stay there until it's either destroyed or something else happens. Maybe a timer, okay? That is intended how it is going to operate. Good question. When is the diving mechanic ready to show? Well, we don't have any dive boards, so it's not ready yet. Let's see. Would it still repair the 35% armor even if the hull was at 100%, or would it need that hull damage? No. It would still repair the 35% armor. It would still repair the 35% armor because it will generate the armor based on half of the hull's listed value. So regardless or not if you can regenerate the hull, it will still add it to the armor because it's adding it to both. But when it adds to a full amount, it's simply just not adding anymore, but then it also still adds to the armor. Yeah, so it will still work. Yeah, it's not dependent on what's remaining. That I know. How deep will factions go? What's the plan? I'm not sure I fully understand the question, but I do know that I am actually really over time, so I have to stop answering questions. If I missed your question, and I probably did, let's be real, you can go to the Discord and head over to the Ask RFG channel and say, yo, Eric, I had this question on stream, you didn't answer it, nobody answered it, I feel bad, please respond. And I would be happy to go in there and respond to you directly. I'm sure a community person who also may know the answer could dive in and answer you directly there as well. Generally speaking, I try to get in there first. But yeah, there's plenty of space to follow up. Otherwise, guys, I have had a blast highlighting all of this content for you this month. I'm gonna be out next week, and it sucks because there's still so much more. Guys, there's so much more. Oh my gosh, and this journey has just been, the summer update coming out this summer is gonna be fantastic. I am confident of that based on your responses, based on your desires that are getting satisfied, based on the feedback that I have seen from prior updates. I am so thrilled. Like, we're taking in a lot of what you guys have desired. It's matching up with our vision. Everything is coming together, and I cannot wait to just tie that bow on top and just hand deliver it to you. So I'm out next week. We might still have a stream, to be determined. You'll just have to watch the announcements to find out. Otherwise, you have been awesome. I have been Eric Schrader, your community ambassador, your guide, your servant through all things Everspace 2. Don't stop being awesome, and we'll catch you. You can catch me in 2 weeks, possibly a ROCKFISH stream next week with another host. Possibly. Toodles! All right, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back like I normally do. I'm trying to do a thing. Okay, bear with me. I'm trying to do a thing. Come on. Come on, do the thing. Okay, all right. Where am I looking for this setting? Where am I? Where's the thing? Gameplay. Tracker ISO. Ah! 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 I need it. I can Amazon this, right? Oh my gosh, guys, I am pumped. I am pumped for this. I will actually play first person. Oh my goodness. Ah!